What's the worst thing you can lose? Your money? Your job? Your title? No, the worst thing, the biggest asset most people don't even realize they have, is trust. Kiss camera, just 3 seconds. And for 2 millionaire executives, it was enough to burn it all down. Kristin and Andy. And today, I'm going to tell you their real story. Because behind it are lessons that could save your own career one day. Before we dive in, hit subscribe. You're going to hear truths here that most people don't dare to tell. Part 1. How they rose to the top. All right, let me start by telling you who these two were. Kristin Cabot, born in Boston, 1969. She came from one of the city's oldest, most prestigious families, the Boston Brahmins. People used to say they talk to God, not people. But Kristin had something most people don't. Instead of writing her family name, she worked her way up herself, and she did it with something called conscientiousness, being responsible, reliable, meticulous. Psychology calls it one of the big 5 traits, and studies show it's the strongest predictor of career success. By the time of the incident, Kristin had built a personal net worth of $3 to $5 million, and more importantly, a reputation people respected. Then there's Andy Byron, born in Detroit, 1975. Middle-class family, factory worker dad, nurse mom. But Andy had what psychologists call a growth mindset. Carol Dweck shows that believing you can learn and improve is a game changer. Andy started as a data analyst and climbed his way up to become CEO of Astronomer, a billion-dollar data startup. Net worth? Around $12 to $15 million. And he carried something else, self-efficacy. Albert Bandura calls it the belief in your own ability to handle challenges, a key to resilience. So what can you take from their story so far until now? Build your network. Be conscientious. Have a growth mindset. Believe in yourself. And don't be afraid to make bold decisions. Everything was going right until that night. Boston, Gillette Stadium, Coldplay concert, lights, music, thousands cheering. The kiss cam starts rolling and lands on Kristin and Andy. They hesitate, and then the crowd screamed. But that moment of joy, it didn't last, because once people realized who they were, everything flipped. So why did 2 smart, successful people make such a dumb mistake? Here's why. First, hubris syndrome. David Owen's research shows that people in power too long start to believe the rules don't apply to them. They feel invincible. Second, the proximity effect. Robert Zion showed that the more time you spend around someone, the more likely you are to develop feelings. Kristin and Andy had worked side by side for years, through late nights, stressful deals. And that night, in a stadium full of energy, it was just a spark waiting to ignite. Third, emotional decision-making under stress. Daniel Kahneman explains that when you're stressed or excited, your brain defaults to what he calls System 1, fast, emotional, instinctive decisions. They weren't thinking rationally. Fourth, forgetting their personal brand. Edelman's Trust Barometer says that 72% of people equate a leader's personal reputation with their company's reputation. In that moment, they forgot they were the brand. 3 lessons here. So don't let power fool you into thinking you're untouchable. Always remember professional and personal boundaries clear. Always remember people are watching. And then, silence. No apology, no statement, no explanation. Coombs' research on crisis management shows that silence multiplies the damage 4-fold. So the media filled the silence with their own headlines. The unethical CEO, the HR chief who set a terrible example. Within 72 hours, Andy resigned. Kristin took a leave of absence. Their reputation crumbled. What could they have done better? Speak up fast and be transparent. Talk to their employees directly. Hire a crisis management consultant. 3 golden rules of crisis management. Be the first to speak. Tell the truth, even when it's hard. Show respect for the people who trusted you. Kristin and Andy are still millionaires, but their biggest asset, their reputation, is gone. Warren Buffett once said, it takes 20 years to build a reputation and 5 minutes to ruin it. That's right. Don't measure your success just by your money. Your greatest asset is trust. protect it. No, tell me, which of these mistakes do you see most around you? Drop a comment. And if you want to learn how to build and protect your own success, hit subscribe and turn on the bell. You'll hear things here that might just save you someday.